Yes, hi everybody, and welcome to another video. Well, then, let's try to do something different here, shall we? Oh, the European Lord is trying to do his videos in a more prestige way. No, I've actually been trying to install this camera and HD microphone into my laptop, and yeah, I haven't managed. So let's just see what we can do here. I'm going to talk about a book that I am looking forward to very much indeed. So I have been observing the scene of independent publishing for quite some time now, and that includes all genres and all media, novels and short stories, audiobooks, but also graphic novels, comic books, so to speak. And it has come to my attention that a lot of people they have popped up in the last couple of years, mainly then in the United States of America, who are trying to publish their own independent stuff. Not only comics, but all kinds of things. Because it's precisely because it's so easy to put things out. Now, I do have things published through more ordinary, more classic ways in the Czech Republic through normal publishers, my own books of poetry. I have never really thought about going to Kickstarter or Indiegogo. Seems to me a little bit, I don't know, I don't know. It's just not for me. And it has come, or I have arrived at the conclusion that not many of these things are of a high quality. Now, I have observed, I have been watching, I have been commenting upon people's campaigns and videos, and based on their promotional material, based on what texts and pictures they shared, and I've also backed certain things, and I've got some independent comics in my collection as well. It just seems to me that 99% of these products are subpar, of a subpar quality. And unfortunately, the entire scene has devolved into um, grown men bickering about whose funny papers are prettier. And it's all about supporting the independent creator rather than wanting something good to read. And that's a shame, I think. I might like somebody, but I would never ever whatsoever purchase his book if I didn't think that book would be good. No, it's just no. It's you might as well set up a GoFundMe if you want some money from me. So no, I'm not going to do that. This, however, my dear friends, is something that I'm extremely looking forward to, and something that is absolutely going to go on my pre-order list. It is basically a history art book. It's called Mythic Legions: The First 10 Years book. Now, if you look behind me and if you've been following my channel for quite some time, you might know that I am quite a voracious collector of the Mythic Legions action figures, which are high quality 1/12 scale action figures of the fantasy genre, made by the manufacturer the Four Horsemen toy design. Now, recently they also ventured into the science fiction genre, and also 2 to 3 times a year they put out an action figure that is based on either a myth of a sort coming from one mythology or another, a folklore characters or literary characters, such as recently there was the ghost of Jacob Marley, or the ghost of Christmas Past from Charles Dickens's A Christmas Carol. There was the Mask of the Red Death, by Edgar Allan Poe, obviously, and also the Frankenstein's creature from by Mary Shelley. The Mythic Legions are really something extraordinary. It is an animal of its own. They have been around, as it says, for 10 years, and what they are doing, they are a company, and they are designing and producing their own fantasy action figures, and you can find all sorts of things verging from elves and dwarves and wizards, centaurs and goblins, to some more less common stuff, but they haven't so far published any official law material as far as a novel goes or a comic book. And I've always appreciated that. These are figures that, firstly, you just collect because they look beautiful. Secondly, it's nothing that would be adapting one source material or another. And that's the appealing thing, because it's a beautiful drive for your imagination. So you can just buy a figure of their goblin and just make that goblin be anything. But also, this imagination aspect is being strengthened by the fact that these toys are uh, they are designed to be customized, and they are designed to be popped apart, all their limbs and their heads and their like. And then something happened, and then put it together again. So you can just customize 10, you can take 10 different figures and make one absolutely unique figure. And this is what they are going to publish now, which is their own history, the first 10 years. They also have in their work a law book that is in the works right now, only 10 years after putting out their first action figures. They have been working on their law in the bios of the action figures, and slowly but surely they have grasped the fans and collectors' attention with their quite mysteriously but very well written law stories. And I'm also looking forward to that. This book could be, I think that it should be coming out within 1 year. But this is something that I'm absolutely excited and ecstatic about. It is a book that is tracing the history and the development of their action figure line. Like starting with the earliest action figures made 10 years ago that are in these days in many cases collector's pieces that go for hundreds and hundreds of dollars for on eBay. But yeah, it's just I don't know, nice looking action figures. But in comparison with those that they have put out and created recently, all those that are just to come out, it's just incomparable. And not only do this book include all those beautiful shots and pictures taken by a 1/6 shooter, I think he's called on social media, but also it includes artwork by Nate Barch, who is a court illustrator for Four Horsemen Toy Design, but also it includes bios and stats and stories for each and every single figure, but also it provides the reader with and kind of an insight into the history of the company itself, starting with their first Kickstarter. They started with a Kickstarter like 10 years ago or something like that, and since then they have evolved into one of the, or I dare say, um the best, but one of the biggest independent toy manufacturers on the market, and definitely 100% better than your average Hasbro or McFarlane or even Super 7 that you can buy. So this is something that I do recommend you buy. If you are a fan of beautiful art, if you are a fantasy aficionado, you don't even have to be a collector of these toys. You can just buy this and flip through it and read about an extraordinary history of a toy making company and their love for the fantasy genre and for toys. So yeah, this is definitely worth it. It's just like $50. It should come out by the end of summer. Um, and now for a coffee table book, now imagine that. A lot of these like comic book creators, they charge like $30, $40 for a soft cover, like 120 pages graphic novel of a very low quality, like plus shipping, yada yada. Look at this. This is $50 for a hardcover coffee table book of 360 pages. And the book size will be approximately 9 to 12 inches. This is a good thing for your buck, isn't it? So let me know in the comments down below what you think. And there'll be all. Thank you very much for watching. And Namaria.